Hello, dear visitors. My name is Diana. We'd like to welcome you to have a tour around our center of the first president of Kazakhstan. The Historical and Cultural Center began its work on November 22, 2011. The first president of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, took part in the opening ceremony of the center. In 2018, the museum exposition was replenished with new exhibits, among them a car from the park of official cars of the President of Kazakhstan, Mercedes-Benz S600L, is one of the working cars of Elbasy. The glass showcases display gifts and souvenirs representing a real collection of art treasures, paintings and sculptures, works of traditional arts and crafts, souvenirs and symbols of different countries. Nearby is a souvenir from Chinese President Xi Jinping, the original figure of a camel decorated with a slotted pattern with a schematic map of a Silk Road. The souvenir is made of metallized plastic. A very interesting gift of the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, an antique 12-volume encyclopedia of Russian agriculture. The books were printed in St. Petersburg in early 20th century. Despite their age, all volumes are very good condition. The edition is kept in leather case with gold embossing. The publication of the Constitution of Kazakhstan from the current ambassador of Kazakhstan to Russia, Tasmagambetov, is aroused interest. The impressive size of folio with a portrait of the first president decorated with precious stones. The main exposition of the center begins with the whole independent Kazakhstan. Here are the main achievements of our country during the years of independence. Please note, the architecture of the whole is made in the form of a traditional Kazakh yurt, which symbolizes Kazakhstan as a common home for multinational people of the country. In the center, the layout of the capital Nur-Sultan. Along the perimeter of the whole in the glass showcases, you can get acquainted with archival materials, photos and documents revealing the theme of the whole. On December 16, 1991, the constitutional law on state of independence of the Republic of Kazakhstan was adopted. Kazakhstan is declared an independent, democratic and legal state, and its territory is indivisible and inviolable. After gaining independence, Kazakhstan enters the world area and begins in the form of foreign policy. Friendly democratic relations were established with 150 countries of the world. In the showcase, there are materials to tell about the development of state symbols, reveals the meaning of existing symbols, the flag, the emblem, and the national anthem of Kazakhstan. They were adopted on June 4, 1992. In front of you, a monumental painting of a member of the Union of Artists of Kazakhstan, Asya Jakbekov. The picture tells about the beginning of the labor activity of Nursultan Nazarbayev, which began in Temirtau, Karaganda metallurgical plant with a blast furnace hearth. The armed forces of the Republic of Kazakhstan were established on May 7, 1992. The supreme commander of the armed forces of Kazakhstan is the president. In Showcase, Kazakhstan is presented as multinational and multi-confessional state. Representative of more than 100 nationalities live in the country, and their peaceful coexistence is a great achievement of our state. On November 12, 1993, the law of the introduction of the national currency in the territory of the Republic of Kazakhstan was adopted. The first series of tenge was printed in London in 1992 by Harrison and Sons. In 1996, in Almaty opened its own banknote factory, and from this period tenge are printed in Kazakhstan. Here you can see the samples of national currency of different years of issue presented by our center by the National Bank of Kazakhstan. The theme of personal belongings of the first president continues presented in the glass showcases of his coat, glasses and two pens. The whole is called The Son of His Time will tell you about the childhood, school and student years of the future president. The exposition of the whole is based on autobiographical book of Nursultan Nazarbayev Without Right and Left, and showcases are expressed from it. The first showcase contains a photo of Nazarbayev family, father Abish, mother Aljan, brother Satabaldi, Bolat and sister Aniba. On the right in the showcase is presented Shezhere, the family tree of Nursultan Nazarbayev passing through the male line to the 12th generation. Shezhere is executed on dark green velvet in a gold thread which was made in India. The author is a member of the Union of Artists of Kazakhstan, Ayjan Abdubaitova. You can see the diorama Ushkonur. Ushkonur is the birthplace of Nursultan Nazarbayev's ancestors located in the foothills of Zalisky Alatau. It is considered one of the most beautiful places in Kazakhstan. The diorama is based on the movie The Sky of My Childhood. To the right of the diorama in the showcase, there are photos of villagers, young people of the village Shamalgan and Viktor Melnichenko, photographer, the childhood friend of Nursultan Nazarbayev. The following photos will tell you about the years of study of Nursultan Nazarbayev which he spent in Ukraine, Dnipro. The next hall is called the Personality Phenomenon. The hall shows the history of the construction of Kazakhstan's Magnitka. You are met with a layout of red arc which were installed on all entrances of the young town. Kazakhstan Magnitka is being built here, the Komsomol main construction of the country. This showcase presents chess bought by Nursultan Nazarbayev and his fellow students, dombra, accordion and photo album of those years. His roommate Yermak Toleubayev did not suspect that chess he bought for 3 rubles and 60 cents were bought in a joint with the future president of Kazakhstan. In 1962, Nursultan Nazarbayev created a family. On August 25, Nursultan with Sarah and a circle of friends, colleagues and relatives played a cheerful Komsomol youth wedding. The screen shows a unique video chronicle telling about the construction of Kazakhstan Magnitka. On December 3, 1957, the construction of Blast Furnace No. 1 began. On July 3, 1960, the furnace produced the first Kazakhstan cast iron. Here you can see the tools of the blast furnace hearth, a spoon for sampling and a shovel. The path to the next hall, which is called the Steel Profile of Kazakhstan. The exhibition presents the main production complex, the history of the largest metallurgical enterprises. The hall reproduces the atmosphere of metallurgical production and makes it possible to appear as if it's inside the shop. The hall presents the full cycle of the metallurgical plant. The layout shows agglomeration, coke production, blast furnace, converter shop and sheet metal shop. Also presented here is the layout of the blast furnace casting platform at the time of the iron production, the layout of the slab and finished products, the rolled and flat products as well as the workwear of today's metallurgists. We are in the hall in the flow of time, which is displayed the beginning of the political career of the president. Since 1962, Nazarbayev is a member of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. In 1971, he was elected the first secretary of the Temirtau Komsomol Committee. From 1971 to 1973, Nazarbayev worked as a second secretary of the Temirtau Party Committee. On January 22, 1971, Temirtau is the first city of Kazakhstan was awarded with the Order of the Red Banner of Labor. The showcase presents the order and photos from the ceremony. From 1973 to 1974, Nursultan Nazarbayev was in the secretary of the party committee of Karaganda Metallurgical Plant. The director of the enterprise, Oleg Tishenko, and the party organizer Nursultan Nazarbayev brought the plant and Temirtau to a new stage of development. The main achievement was the provision of housing for all waiting lists. Houses and cultural facilities were commissioned annually. You can see the models of the Palace of Culture, the Metallurgical Institute where the future leader of the nation studied, a unique swimming pool built for the first time in Kazakhstan according to Olympic standards, as well as the monument of soldiers who died during the Great Patronic War. From 1980 to 1984, he was the secretary of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan. Since 1984, the chairman of the Council of Ministers of Kazakh SSR. In 1989, he was elected in the first secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan. Since 1990, the president of Kazakh SSR. On December 1, 1991, the national presidential elections were held. Receiving 98.7% of the votes, Nursultan Nazarbayev became the first president of independent Kazakhstan. We are in the whole Kazakhstan way. The road to independence was long and thorny. Each century is rich in events, heroes, fighters for the Kazakh statehood is a great step. In the center of the hall there is a column with a bas-relief symbolizing the historical course of the development of the country. The people, as if the flow of history, spirals upwards, and each turn is a special era. Since the Stone Age, the first rock paintings of ancient people, and further to freedom-loving Saksy, Kazakh Khans and fighters of the Kazakh statehood, a la Shorda, those who were during the war defended the freedom of the motherland, who fought in the independence in December 1986 in Almaty. The center of the artistic composition is a fragment of the sculptural ensemble Kazakh, symbolizing the desire of Kazakhstan to further development and prosperity. Thanks to the interactive map, we can get to any of the region of Kazakhstan, get acquainted with the successes and achievements of our history. Dear guests, our tour is over. Thank you. I wish you all the best.